Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
It was my choice. For a common lad like me, it's the easiest way to get an education and do something worthwhile with my life.
It looks like we're both here for the same reason. I think we'll get along.
哦，你也是自愿来的吗？
Would you tell me something about
闲聊
yourself?
中，
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go.
修道院等级制度，院长，修道院小修道院，守夜人，职责是强制工作、学习和祈祷的时间巡视整个修道院，必须要遵守秩序，保持安静。领唱负责训练僧侣们唱教会歌曲和主持仪式。游戏中他们的名字参考了现存资料记录的当时真实存在的修士姓名。僧侣和修行人生，除了朝拜虔诚的阅读和抄写以及解释书籍以外，还要从事身体劳动。修道院通常会为僧侣和未来的神父开设培训会以及制药工厂，时间都规定得很仔细哦。很多修士一辈子也再没从墙里出来过，只有受到信任的长老修士和宿务修士能够与外界交流，他们掌管着修道院与外界的沟通与运营。
Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to.
哦，那卡尔进来一定很辛苦哦，卡尔睡到11点才起床。哦，这边好多都可以采集的。
The garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware.
灵魂徘徊。
Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work. As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren, and above us monks are the prior and the cicatas.
长老跟巡查长。
You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict. The Rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts... The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You, too, will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We'll be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here.
搜查。
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's
你
in
先问一
charge
下
of
其他事情。
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
I see.
会换人了。皮特。
Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
约翰跟内弗拉斯。
Tell me something about life here.
Work, prayer, as if you didn't know. We serve God, and that's the central truth of our lives.
I
need to make a confession.
I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done. There's probably nothing to worry about.
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief. He had a hand in burning down the Neuhof stud.
You don't say. And who are you to take such an interest?
Someone whose job it is to investigate the case, find the perpetrators and make sure they get the punishment they deserve.
Punishment? Do you intend to punish them here, in the monastery?
I don't know yet. I'm still just on their trail. Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief? If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident, nor the other brethren have been here much longer than that.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still I don't know which one he could be.
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that it could be any one of them. No one knows anything about Lukas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy worm. It wouldn't surprise me if he was behind that massacre. Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books. The thought of Yodok at Neuhof sends chills up my spine.
我不知道啊。
Maybe you're right. It's not a pretty thought.
我还不认识，要再查查看。
Please don't say a word to anyone.
Don't fret, my friend. Your secrets are locked inside my lips.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother, and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
It occurred to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some lockpicks. Do you know anyone in the monastery who could help me?
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son.
还真的问得到。
But you could ask Brother Salarius. They say he used to be a thief.
好，所以我们要乖乖做事，然后想办法找出谁是派阿斯。这边有记录说安东尼斯认为的可能人选。那有一个支线任务就是乖乖的过日子，过修道院日子是吧？我现在名叫格雷戈尔修士，是一位杀少修道院的僧侣。看到我这副模样，我爸会怎么说呢？他会先笑到腹筋崩坏吧？上帝保佑他的灵魂。我们来看看这个，找个光线好一点的位置行不行？啊，这里好一点。日程，任何违反日程计划的行为，惊叹号都会受到禁闭的惩罚。冥想、祈祷、学习都可以替换就餐和睡觉安排。清晨3点开始，清晨4点晨祷，6点集体用餐，8点工作兼工作，由内弗拉斯修士安排。中午12点图书馆工作，下午4点午间祷告，下午6点晚祷集体就餐，7点晚祷结束休息前自由活动，晚上9点就寝，赞扬我主。OK， 好，所以惊叹号是必须要做的。那我今天第一天来，我还蛮自由的。现在几点了？第一天也快结束了。我先乖乖的，我们去认识其他人。 巡查
I'm
长。
Gregor and I'm new here.
I know. I saw you in the church during ceremony. I have the feeling we'll be meeting again soon, and often. You see, I'm the circator.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that everything's the way it should be.
When it's not the way it should be?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But certainly you won't require correction, will you, brother?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
哇，好多事可以聊。
What can you tell me about the novices here?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and become a fully fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yorick is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager. Perhaps too eager. Siskin is good company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonis is hardworking and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as quiet as a mouse and no one knows much about him. And then we have you, about who I know nothing.
这边问不出什么了。我觉得感觉每个人都有很多天可以聊。那应该选举的事情，我就自己看自己快速的聊过，我们就专注在找派阿斯的话题上。哦
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name
副
is
长老
Nebulus, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the
候选人之一
monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside
或者
world.
财
That
产还
means
有
you get to
交
leave
易
the。monastery.
哦，
No, not at all.
你不
I
进出
just
去了
write？ lists and send them out.
Tell me about yourself.
这边快速聊一聊吧。
I'm the provost of this monastery. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you...
还有机会可以帮皮特老院长治疗
What do you need?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament,
啊，
a
打破
few
戒律。
rules will need to be broken. Now you know most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the libri prohibiti, the forbidden books, those we aren't permitted to
旁边
read.
就有人在听了，这样没问题吗？
Why are they forbidden?
Because they contain occult,
邪教和恶
demonic
魔造反。
practices, witchcraft, and
巫术。
all manner of evil. Or so some people claim. It's nonsense, of course. This is nothing but a book of medicine, albeit one written by a pagan. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, is universally acknowledged to be a wise man. But here, at some point, someone decided his book is the work of a Saracen devil and must be kept under lock and key. Since then, no one can even talk about the book. But the three wise men were from the East, were they not?
我可以告诉你，其实我已经拿到了禁书书柜的钥匙了。之前在沙造当小偷的时候，也有偷到这里来。
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. No one
Okay.
will notice if one book disappears.
好，这边我看
But
看
if more were to vanish,
任务
someone
可以
would
接
certainly
下来
need，to look
然后
into
可能就顺
it,
便
which is
做了。
exactly what we to
要
pass
晚上
unwatched.
才能去。
You'll need, they say Brother Solarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. We'll soon have and pedant who
好，
preaches
那
war
对
and treats
约翰的
life.
评
He's
价
won the older brethren over
双面
because
人
they
是
know
吗
he won't call an end to their debauchery.
That's all.
好，卢卡斯，
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. It was hard not to notice you.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want to talk to you. I'm happiest alone.
I'd like to know something about the...
I don't know much, but ask away.
Tell me about Antonius.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've never spoken to him. I've never asked about him.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
Come on. Is there really nothing at all you can tell me?
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay focused on work and prayer, not on who I once was. I never will be again. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery gates and took our oath. Never forget that.
还要指着我说，我已经跟安东尼斯坦白了我在做什么，但其实他也是可能的嫌疑人之一。可是老实说，我直接大喇喇的坦诚我在找派拉斯也行嘛，反正他们也逃不出去，顶多就是担心自己会不会被反杀而已。我试试看哈，大胆的告诉他。
Something I should tell you. Something secret. I'm looking for someone
试试
here.
看走这个路线，平常我自己玩应该不会这么
Looking
做。
for someone?
失去声望。
You're a novice, aren't you?
I am a novice. At least until I find the man I'm looking for.
Why would you be looking amongst monks? You know, the laws of man aren't valid here. In the cloister, we're subject to divine law, the law of the church.
I'm looking for a footpad who's hiding out here in the monastery. He had a hand in raising the Neuhoff farm. He's taken many lives.
I heard something about that. But why are you telling me all this?
Because you could help me. It has to be one of the other novices.
That can't be. Have you told the prior? What are you going to do to this man once you find him?
Talk to him. Then I'll see. Do you have any idea which of the novices could be the imposter I'm looking for?
I don't know, and I don't care to know. I wish you'd never told me. Now I won't be able to sleep at night.
我聊完了，还有谁可以聊天的？人真多哎！哦，找到了，西斯金。
My name's Gregor.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment? Although it's not important. Welcome to purgatory.
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
这边可以说服
Are you hiding something? Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing. If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it. But to get rid of me while he's still alive...
They must have realised you robbed them.
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder?
Indeed so. Servus.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep it to yourself. Especially the part about the coin.
我在走廊上聊这些，所以他是贵族出身的，但听起来感觉嫌疑不大。他的财宝也是一个支线任务吗？我问问看。
It's no big. The other monks don't notice as long as you show your
哦，
face.
贿赂就可以不受惩罚。
What you think about the other novices? Tell me about Antonius.
Well, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be Antonius. He has a calm soul, he's easy to talk to, and you can always rely on him.
What can you tell me about Lucas?
It's a tricky situation with Lucas. No one really knows anything about him.
I've tried so many times to talk to him, but he always backs away like a virgin on a wedding night.
That's all.
好，我来直
There's
接
something I should tell
把话讲开。
you. Something you won't be happy to hear. I'm here to find someone and, well, to do away with him. But listen, it's not murder. Not when it's a man like him. He's one of the brigands who burned down Neuhof. He doesn't deserve to
哇，
live.
这次怎么有话讲的那么狠呢？
And who are you?
They call him pious because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, he hid away here. And as you can see, escaped suspicion. They sent me here to find him and bring him to justice. He's one of the novices.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place is a lot more exciting than I expected. Do you know who it is?
Well, that's just
很
it.
刺激哦。我不知道。
No, but I hope I'll track him down soon. If you find any clue that could lead me to him...
I swear I don't know anything. Except that I'm not the one you're looking for.
I won't tell you more. And I'd like you to keep silent about this too.
You're talking about killing in the monastery. I really should report it.
Would you do that? I have a feeling you wouldn't.
You're right. I'll keep it to myself. I've got problems enough of my own without involving myself in yours. And besides, I mean to be gone from here within a year, so why should I care what happens with the monastery?
Thank you, Siskin. I appreciate it.
他要离开，他有计划离开，所以他应该不会是派拉斯吧？因为派拉斯就是要躲风头才进来的啊。大家走路一定要走那么慢哦。图书馆修士，楼梯很卡呢。哦，找到了。
Greetings,
我要
brother.
挡大家的
I'm
路。
Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
I'm interested in the other knot. What can you tell me about Siskin?
Oh, he's always got a smile on the new friend. But I reckon he don't belong in the monastery. He spends more time dreaming of the world outside than tending to his duties. I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me, he'd be out on his ear right away.
Sounds like you don't have much time for him.
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Believe me, Gregor, he's hiding something from us. In fact, now I come to think of it, I haven't seen him at morning prayers for a while.
Do you know anything about Antonius?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is all right. You can rely on him. He won't betray your confidence. He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the other brothers.
I'm interested in Lucas.
Nobody knows much about Lucas. He keeps himself to himself. If you ask me, he's got something to hide. I'd keep well clear of him if I was you.
Do you have any grounds for suspecting him of something?
Quite a lot. And also none at all. The circuitous who make the rounds despise him, and they'd never punish anyone without cause.
诶，没办法哦，有，好，来直接
Listen,
问问看
there's。something I ought to tell you. There's a dangerous criminal hiding in the monastery, and I came here to look for him.
Ha! I knew it! He's a villain. Who are you, though? Oh, it's better not to ask, isn't it? It's always safer not to ask.
Never mind that. Who's a villain?
That's Siskin. I always thought he was an odd one, the way he carries on. But now it makes perfect sense. He's a criminal fleeing justice.
You mean his not going to morning prayers?
So you noticed that too?
Actually, you could be right.
I think when you take a closer look at Siskin, you'll find he's the one you're looking for.
我不能结束对话吗？
You've got the wrong end of the stick. That has nothing to do with anything.
You think so? He definitely acts like a criminal. Who else would it be?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
What are you going to do to that fellow once you find him?
I don't know yet.
You should talk to the Circators or the Prior about it, not act on your own. Salve Domine.
好，现在大家都知道我进来干嘛了。还有一些见习修士对其他人看法还没问完。
I'm interested in Yodok.
What could interest you about him? He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip.
把你变成萝卜块是什么意思啊？
That if he wasn't here, he'd be a cumin scout, bowing and scraping for a few groschen.
That doesn't sound too flattering.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here, watch out for him. He's got his eye on everyone, and he'll rat on you for even the slightest of infractions.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
That there's no man alive less suitable for the monastic life than him.
You don't know young Lord Capon.
I've heard things. Siskin must have been like him. Fighting, drinking, fornicating. But then he ended up in here.
Why is he in the monastery?
No one knows. Maybe he's hiding from something. Or maybe he's being punished.
Do you think he has a secret?
Don't we all? But unlike the others, he absolutely refuses to speak about his life before
他
the
已经很
monastery.
直接跟我说了。
That's all I want. What about you?
Be on good terms with him. If you show even the slightest hint you don't like him, he'll make your life hell. He's a slimy little pedant who'll rat you out to the superiors. Once he finishes his novitiate, I imagine he'll want to climb his way up the ladder to at least Circator. He's a man who enjoys ordering others around.
I'm interested in Lucas.
No one knows much about him. He doesn't talk to anyone. He works, eats, sleeps, then does it all again the next day. It's as if he wanted to get it all over with as soon as possible. By it, I mean his entire life.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Not a lot. I don't know him. Actually, I don't know much about him at all, except that he's not a stickler for rules.
You really don't know anything about anyone?
Don't get upset.
Do you know anything about Yodok?
好像问他也都没差哦。
He doesn't like me, and he's on very friendly terms with the Circators. That's about it.
Tell me about Antonius.
I liked.
好，几位见习修士都聊完了，那么我在
Talk to me.
闲聊完之后，可能要去休息睡觉了。修道院任务是不是锻炼阅读技能的一个大好时机啊？因为这边很多书，应该是都有机会拿来看的吧。好像到了睡觉时间了，看一下，我可以趁现在去拿禁书。那没人哦，没人哦。哦，这里。
Ah, this looks like the Saracen language. Ibn al-Hassan.
死灵之书
That's what I'm looking for.
要哪些可以拿？能拿的都拿一拿。能都拿完了哦，2本。哇，我忽视了每日的日程。我要回去睡觉了是吗？他们睡觉前会点名哦。那我现在是不是要偷偷摸摸的摸回卧室去啊？还是在另一头诶？诶，路上都没有看到在巡夜的人呢。然后回到卧室了，有个地方睡觉。我明天要几点起床？4点要参加晨祷。我可以睡在哪里啊？啊，这张床可以睡。那我当然要睡最舒服的床了。就是啊，用来藏东西的装饰匕首。这东西有杀伤力吗？0。死灵之书2。嘿嘿，偷光光。世俗之物，哦，有任务哦。找出赃物的主人。哦，以前是已经完成了，因为我已经问过了嘛，就是那个贵族出身的人。
Us drinking here.
酒窖里有
So
事
either
情。
join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You won't want to end up like Lucas now, would you?
那你们不是巡查长吗？
All right. I wouldn't mind some wine.
开喝。
That's more like it. Sit down and have a drink, my lad.
哦，难怪外面都没看到你们，原来在这里忙这些事情啊。
What troubles you?
What are you doing here?
What does it look like?
But we're all monks.
Youngster, when you're as old as I, you'll understand.
I think...
Where would you be going?
All right.
来呀、
Say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
获得声望
I'm。not so sure. It's a bit sour. God knows what's in it.
Don't be absurd. It's a first-class cask, direct from Znojmo.
No, I know the taste of a good vintage, and this isn't it. I bet you that wretch Yorick got the casks mixed up.
Nonsense. It's perfectly drinkable.
No, it isn't. It's sour. No matter. We'll get more soon, so good health.
Good health. What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
You mentioned Yodok. What does he do for you?
Nothing much. He's just a little suckling like you. He'll do whatever it takes to stay on our good side. Sometimes we make use of him when there are errands to run.
Where'd you get the wine from? I thought the monastery cellars were guarded.
So they are, but this wine isn't from the monastery. Listen, lad, would you help us out with something? This cask is almost empty and we need a new one. We're a bit old for such exertions. But you, on the other hand...
I'll help you. What do I need to do?
Ha! I knew it. Help Novice Yodok arrange for a new cask. Talk to him first thing in the morning, and by tomorrow night the cask can be on the table.
All right, I'll talk to him. Let's drink.
That's the idea. And what should we drink to?
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is. But wait a minute, lad. Which one?
To Abbot John.
That's more like it.
然后问我还没跟约翰聊过，
About...
Ask me anything you want.
我还可以选择帮助他哎。
I'll be going, brothers. It's been good to sit with you a while.
好了，可以起来了，
What's there left?
Swiss
有
speed
点
and our
有
boundless
点
self.
微醺的状态。
You and your...
好，那至少表示说我晚上在外面走来走去，应该是没什么太大问题了哦。好了，到了叫做晨祷的时间了，大家鱼贯的准备去做弥撒。趁现在跟约杜克讲一下
I was talking
酒的
last
事情。
night with the brother Cicators. It seems you're to fetch them a cask of wine. Like last time.
Well, yes, it's true.
I'd like to help you.
Would you really do it? To get hold of the wine, we'll have to leave the monastery for a bit. I know it's forbidden, but we've no other option. If wine started going missing here, someone would notice. But to leave the monastery, we need the keys. And only the prior has those.
Wait a moment. Are you saying I'm supposed to steal the prior's keys so I can go and steal wine somewhere else?
You see why I don't want to do it myself now, do you? I don't have what it takes. I can't get those keys, but you could. Or you might be able to pick the locks.
But you've done it once before, haven't you?
Last time the prior was sick, and he left the monastery keys in the Circator's care. So they unlocked the gates for me. This time we'll have to steal the keys.
How can I get hold of the keys, do you think?
I don't know, but it might be possible to do this without them.
Do you think he'll want to take part in
我
theft?
感觉不能聊太久哈，
But
我
you
们
could
还有
give some advice,
日程
or
要
maybe
做。
get some lockpicks up.
If she thinks...
Once you have the key...
OK， 好，赶快，走路还摇摇晃晃的，排队。我在闲逛的时候，居然在圣坛后面找到了一只开锁器。哎呦，我找到路可以出去了，我自由啦！开锁器解锁，我就可以当着大家在祷告的时间直接跑出去了。不过我会先来拿回我的世俗之物，主要是存档药水吧，多拿一些。哦，我又回来了。
About those keys.
Did you get them? Keys? Oh, at least lockpick.
这个已经有开锁器了。
Come before midnight.
啊，要碰头吗？晚上。要先把书交出去。
Here's the book you wanted.
Amazing. This really is it. Now I can use it to prepare a cure for our suffering abbot. Then I'll leave it in the library to make it seem as if Brother Librarian left it lying about. There'll be no investigation. It would be against his best interests, as he'll look like the one who wasn't taking proper care of the books. It will drive him mad. I didn't leave that book out, or did I? Is there anything I can do for you in return?
I'd be interested in finding out the background of the other novices.
That's a strange wish you have. And the only ones who know everything about the novices are the abbot and the prior. They keep a record of every monk in the abbot's book. But you'll never get your hands on it. It's locked up in the prior's study.
Thanks. You've helped me immensely.
No, thank you. About that book, don't even think about breaking in to get it.
Not here yet.
长老
You're in charge of the whole monastery, aren't you?
Welcome amongst us. Yes. The Lord wanted me to take over the abbot's duties in his absence, but mainly I'm a servant of God, just like you and all the other brethren.
长老不去吃
God,
饭
there's
吗
no difference between us. How do you like it here?
I don't know yet. Haven't been here long.
You're too humble. I'm sure you must have some opinion, but I won't pry it out of you.
举报，然后地板上找到的。
I've heard you keep records of all the novices.
Yes, I do. Personal records detailing their past lives which are none of your business. Just as it's no one else's business that you deflowered your liege lord's daughter.
哇，长老要回他的房间了，所以现在不是去摸记录的好时机。那我还可以干嘛？好像只能乖乖吃饭了。我的位置在哪？虽然我才刚在外面有吃过饭了。
Readings on the spirit of silence. I said, prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech.
像我只有吃饱吗？我刚刚记得是饱食度70几，我吃过头了，我中毒了。
Permission to speak should rarely be granted even to
我怎么中毒了？
even though it be to the master.
You've got a strong constitution. Anyone else would have certainly died.
What happened?
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a young boy. He was lost and miserable. He had no future. He was tempted by his friends into doing some foolish things, but he wasn't truly bad, because when it came down to it, he ran away rather than keep doing foolish deeds. His former friends didn't take kindly to that, though, and wanted to punish him. So they sent a hunting dog to find him and rip his throat. The boy wasn't stupid, though, and he knew that the hound was coming. He poisoned some food, and when the hound showed up, he gave it to him. He didn't expect the beast to live, but it did. And all of a sudden, the boy was sorry for what he tried to do. So he offered to make a bargain with the hound.
I think I understand you. But the beast would need to know what deal he's being offered.
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's
你
game.
怎么知道我会坐刚好坐在你对面？
But we don't have to let them use us. We can just forget all about it and go our own way. I was a bandit, and I was at Nyhoff. I've robbed and stolen, but I swear to God I've never in my life slain innocent people.
你差点
What
杀
I
了
saw
我！
at Nyhoff made me realize my life was worth shit, but I still had a chance to change for the better. Here in the monastery I've had plenty of time to
好凶
think things over, but then you showed up and fucked it all up.
So the evildoer changes his ways and finds God. What exactly are you proposing?
Both of us can leave this place. You can go back to your people, and I can go somewhere where I can live out my life in peace and no one will try to kill me. If we work together, we can both get what we want.
You're right. But the people who sent me will find out if I don't kill you.
They won't if we're clever about it. No one has to die. Before we make a run for it, We'll make it look like someone's killed me. Loads of blood, a tattered scrap of my habit, and footprints leading towards the river. No one will bother looking for my body there. There we'll split up. You go for your bounty, and I'll get as far away from here as I can.
Good. Let's do it your way.
Good. I'm glad that despite our initial discord, we could reach an agreement. Here, take something to calm your stomach. Now we'll need the keys to the monastery and some blood to make the tracks.
What are you going to do?
I need to get ready for a long journey. Prepare supplies, get some normal clothing somehow, that sort of thing. You can escape in that habit, but I need to vanish as fast as I can.
What do I need the keys to the monastery for?
How else will we get out? This place is practically a prison.
Getting the keys won't be easy.
I know, but Brother Salarius is
我已经把门锁打开了，还开了2扇门
he still has a few lockpicks lying about. If you know how to use them, they'll be worth finding. Or there's the hard way. Steal the keys from the prior. He carries them with him at all times.
They both sound hard to me. But needs must. And where am I supposed to get my hands on blood in a monastery?
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a list of ingredients on it. All the things they're ordering. Add blood for making soup to the list. And when it's delivered the next day, take it before anyone notices it's even come.
Alright, that's everything I need to know. I can get started.
Excellent. Come and see me once you have everything. And try to be as fast as you can. And Gregor, thank you.
我还在中毒状态，咕噜咕噜，然后还喝药水补血。我要不要顺便帮他选举啊？
What is it, brother?
我想要让他
Is there any way I could help
当
you
上
get
新院
elected?
长。
Somehow tip the scales in your favour?
What would you like to do? Climb up the tower and shout, "Vote for Neverless, vote for Neverless"?
Not exactly. You do have an opponent, John.
John isn't my opponent, he's my brother. Just like you and everyone else here. We're all brothers in Christ. But there is something you could help me with. You must know there's a great deal of iniquity here in the
所以只要举
monastery.
报约翰就行了
I'd
吗？
be interested to hear of anything I don't know about.
Should I find out for you what's going on around here?
Let me make this clear. I want to base my candidacy on putting things in order. But if I don't know exactly what's wrong, then my promises are just empty slogans.
Very good then. I'll find out what I can.
Thank you, brother.
哦，所以应该可以了哈，直接举报巡查长就行了。好，现在去厨房看一下。哎呀，
What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands.
I definitely was there. I did come a little late, so perhaps no one noticed me.
Really? Fine then. This time I will.
四下无人的时候，等到第2天啊，原来就在这里哦，隔壁而已嘛，我还要进到屋子里呢。拿到了，这么大一桶，这样就算完成缴交了是吧？大喇喇都放在这里，他们都不怕有其他人来看哦。好，完成了。我已经把这里每一个对外的门都打开了，想走就可以走了。
What do you think? Just like you,
We'd be safer.
You're probably right. I warned them if they didn't stop, I'd go and tell the prior. But instead of... You've picked the wrong people to make enemies of, Lucas, they told me. No, I can't...
这也是一个支线任务。
What if I reported it?
Aren't you afraid they'd start hounding you as...
I'm not afraid of that.
Brother, may the grace...
Gregor.
Brother Cicator, my friend.
What would you like?
No, I'm here because of novice...
Only because that weasel wants to put an end to our nighttime fun. So we're letting him know who's in charge here.
I'd appreciate it if you treat him like a brother again.
If he isn't afraid of us, there's nothing to stop him ratting us out. But what do you care anyway? Grown fond of him, have you?
说服他。
He hates you because you trample all over him and he has nothing to lose. If you show him just a bit of kindness, he'll think again about taking you on. You'll see.
我觉得很成功了。
Fine. You've convinced me. You can tell him things have been straightened out. But he'd better be on his best behavior from now on. Beware of Lucas. He might corrupt you.
你已经够堕落了。
He's a sodomite, a sinner. He might try to get you into the habit, or out of it.
I didn't know that. Thanks for the warning.
好啊，爆他的料是吧？那我的计划是今天晚上再去酒窖那边看一下巡查长他们还有什么样的剧情，然后早上去厨房拿血，然后再举报巡查长，然后就逃之夭夭。
I spoke to the cicadas about...
Really?
But you have to promise not to tell...
That's a promise. Because now I know I can trust you. There's something I want to tell you.
哦，原来这边是可以得到情报。
I wouldn't like to say something that isn't true. God forbid I should cause harm by my words, but this is something I'm sure of. Novice Antonius is lying to us.
What makes you say that?
He claims he's a merchant's son from Vlashim, and that he joined the order voluntarily. The thing is, I spent a great deal of time in Vlashim.
Are you sure?
It's true, or Canute isn't my name. That would be my secular name, by the way, but that's not important. I know...
Thank you for telling me.
I got drunk somewhere with the wrong sort of people.
Do you know how to fight?
And how? Boozing and brawling. God, how I miss that here.
哦，他们会慢慢的收盘子，哎，一个一个拿哦，好慢哦。有吗？有什么新的对话吗？好像没有呢。那算了，明天就举报你们。诶，原来厨房里面的仓库有一把钥匙哦。这个吗？我可以直接拿，他们看着我拿也没关系。OK， 拿到了。好，然后我要举报。
Gregor.
I've discovered something about the wrongs being committed here.
I see.
The cicadas go into the cellar at night to drink wine.
I thought so. John always reeks of it. And he wants to be abbot. Hypocrite. Perhaps if you told the prior, that would clip John's wings.
The older brothers are picking on novice Lucas, punishing him when he doesn't deserve it and humiliating him.
It seems that now even brothers can't avoid worldly evil. Thank you for the information, and if you can, stand up for him. The older brothers are also out to get me. Any action I take, they'll try to use against me.
其他的，约都克要把他拱出来吗？不用了。
That's all I know.
然后他说是还要跟那个吗？长老报备吗
Brother, you were somewhere you
Very well.
I still need to look. You have a weapon. Here, you failed to complete your trial period as a...
还会被驱逐哦。独挡，你好像要全部爆出来才行哦，是吗？可是我不想要让那个，我想让西斯金可以逃走诶。约图克拱出来吧。
Yordok? Well, that little rat's shown his true colors. Do you know where he's stealing it from?
I don't know, unfortunately.
No matter, you've brought me important information.
That's all I know.
If you find out anything...
That is to say, he should show
Praise be to... I have everything we need for the escape.
大家面前讲是吧？
We'll meet in the dormitory. We'll have to get it all done before the monks have finished dinner.
What exactly is your plan? And why can't we do it at night?
We're going to prepare a little riddle they'll never solve. And why at mealtime? Because we need the dormitory as well as the church to be empty. Then at night we'll escape. Do you follow? Take everything with you and don't forget the keys.
Good. Once evening mass ends, I'll be in the dormitory.
unless it be one.
Praise be to God! For a moment there I was worried you weren't coming. Give me that blood. This is the exact spot where you pushed me off the gallery.
哦，他走路好快啊！好久没在这里面看到走路很快的人了。
And here's where you dragged my lifeless body.
卡住，卡住。
Thank you for helping me out. Now we must each go our own way.
好吧，你
I
走。
was glad to help. I did what I needed to do and no one got killed. What will you do now?
Now, get the hell out of here. Steal the first horse I come across and ride until dawn. Far,
毕竟我们前面几个都聊过了嘛，像是金杰啊，然后 blah blah blah。
Here, take this. Show it to those cutthroat bastards and tell them you found it on me. That should convince them. Especially when they hear about the outcry here after the friars found out we've gone.
Your lucky die?
In a manner of speaking. Hope it brings you more luck than it brought me. Thank you. Thank you for letting me live, Brother Gregor.
My name's Henry.
All right, Brother Henry. May God be with you.
任务完成。啊，然后把我的东西拿回来。啊，出来之后，所以就可以去赴约了。